Hello and welcome back to this course. In this series, we are going to be working with Git and GitHub. This module is going to be like a sub-module of our previous module. And in our previous module, we had already introduced Git and we had made mention of GitHub, right? So in our previous videos, we were able to download our Git bash terminal and we were able to install it. And then we were able to set it here in our VS Code as our default terminal. Okay, so in these videos that we are going to see now, we are going to be working with Git as a version control system properly. And then we are going to create a GitHub account and create a repository there and push these codes to GitHub. Okay, so what is a repository? Well, a repository or a Git repository is just a file, it's just a folder that is tracked by Git, right? So now this is just a regular folder. So this is just a regular folder, and this folder is located here on my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to open it here. You just see that it's a regular folder. So we have our analytics folder and our handler package, then data files that we created when we were running our when we ran our main.py file, and then we have the virtual environments that we created. All right, so now back to our VS Code. We are going to start using Git on this file. We are going to use Git on this file. We are going to use Git on this system. We are going to use Git on this folder and thereby converting it to a Git repository, right? So this place is the place that interacts with GitHub. So this place is where you can interact with Git through your VS Code directly. Okay, so to make this folder a Git repository, we can use this button to click on initialize repository. But for now, I'm not going to do that. I want us to use the terminal. So now, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to write a very simple command from my terminal that is going to convert this particular folder to a Git repository. So I'm going to initialize it from the terminal and I'm going to just write git init. Okay, so now that I ran this command, we have a message from VS Code that we have initialized empty Git repository, that is desktop slash my work folder. So what is this? What just happened here? So as you can see, all the files that we have here and folders that we have here, so now has like a color change, right? So they are now looking greenish. So except this env, right? Now I'm going to go back to the folder from through my desktop and open it. So if I open it here and come to this place, I am going to check this view and I'm going to check this view hidden file. So you can now see now that there is a hidden file here in this folder that is called .git. So that is why we have this initialize empty git repository blah 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 .git. Okay, so this .git has been created inside this folder, and the folder .git is going to be tracking all the changes we make to all the files and folders in this folder. So for now, I might as well delete this .git so that I can initialize it with VS Code. They are both the same thing. So I will delete this. And coming back to my VS Code and clicking this place, you see all those color changes has disappeared. So if I go back to this place, all those color changes are no longer there. So it is that .git folder that makes this our workspace a Git repository. So I'm also going to use this place and do the same thing. So you can now see now that either you can initialize the Git repository either by using this command or by clicking that button in your terminal. So we can now see that here we have like 14 pending changes, and the program is just telling us that we have made this a Git repository, but we have 14 changes. That is basically all the changes we have made. It simply means that you have not told that folder that we saw, Git, about the changes that you've made. All right. So also, now that this is a Git repository, so outside the before that we initialized Git here, we don't have this master thing, right? But now there is a Git repository, we have this master written here, and this is just telling us the branch that we are working on. Okay, so don't worry about it yet. We are going to still work towards explaining that. So, and the naming convention has changed a bit. So by default, Git names your main repository that you're working on master. So, but of recent or in the past few years, they now, instead of master, you now have main. Although it comes out as master, but Git recommends that you change it to main. So I am going to change the name of this branch from master to main. So I'm going to write this git command, git branch dash m, right? Then I'll write that master and change it to main. All right, so now our master has been changed to main. So although we are getting this fatal error, but the renaming was successful, right? So I'm going to clear my terminal, and now we have this as our main branch. So this will help us to say, okay, when we talk about the main branch, it will give us an insight of what we are talking about. So now the next thing we are going to do is to tell Git about all the files and folders that we have created. So how do you do that? Well, you can do that by writing this simple git command, git add. And then this, after you write this git add, there is another parameter that you are going to pass in. So the parameter is either the name of your file, the name of a particular folder like this analytics, right? Or the entire work tree. That is everything in this folder. So if you want to add one particular file, you can just write this git add and write the name of the file. So assuming the file I want Git to know about for now is this using module.py, I'm going to type it in. So I have this using module.py, and then I will hit enter, right? So now this has successfully run, and if I hover on this now, I see that here I have the letter A here, and then on this long string that is showing here, you are seeing index added, and the rest of them are showing U, that is untracked. Okay, so if we want Git to know about the rest of the files and folders, we can use the same add command, and we are now going to say git add dot. So this is going to add everything, that is tell Git about all the files and folders that are here. And if I run this, we have all of them now added. All right, so they're all added now. So after you add it, that is not the end of it. The next thing you're going to do is to write git commit, and this commit is like, so think of it like this, that you have written in file is or your folders inside that .git folder, and then the commit is now that you're saving the file or the folders. So if you open up a Microsoft Word, if you type in everything you type and you don't save it, the files or the folders will never, if you leave that space, the files and folders will vanish. So I'm not saying that it will vanish, but if you do not save it, then you have not saved it. It will be there, right? Because Git works differently, but you need to save it, right? So, and how do you save it? By writing this git commit command, and then you're going to write -m, and you're going to open and close your string quote, and inside this string quote you are going to write a message that you're going to use and commit this file. So the message should be something that is related to what you did, or like a milestone that you have achieved before you added this to Git. Assuming you are working on a website and you are just the website is a full project. So when you are done with landing page, you can say done with landing page, something like that. So here we are going to just say modules and packages with OOP. All right, so when I'm done, remember I have this message enclosed in a double quote. You can also use single quotes, and when you're done writing your message, you hit enter. So now we are having an error. No, not really an error, but a request from Git that is telling us to please introduce myself, and it's saying like, I don't know this user before, so who am I saying saved this file here? So now we are seeing these two commands that Git has suggested. So I'm just going to copy this command and run here. So the only thing I'm going to change is my email. So the command is the same. So I'm going to say that my email is my email. I'm going to write in ona@gmail.com. Okay, so, and I'll hit enter, and then I'll copy this second one and paste here. So I'm going to change my name to my name. So I'm going to call it perpetual. So this is just like telling Git, the person that is interacting with Git on this system. So this dash dash global is like you are setting it for all the times that you are using Git in this PC, right? So I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to run that Git commit again. So I'm going to use my arrow key to trace it back, and this time around we are seeing a command that is saying, well, we have created all of these files. So remember, we created them before, but we hadn't told Git about them, nor saved them to Git. So now you see the color changes has also disappeared. So right now what has happened is that we have saved this file to Git. So now this is the way you initialize Git from your system and stage it and write your first commit. So I am going to pause this video now, and we are going to continue in our next video. And in our next video, we are going to be working with branching and then merging of Git branch and possibly resolving merge conflicts. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.